In this exercise, we are going to discover the puppet pin tool and we will use it to animate these animals and get this result. I'll go to After Effects, New Composition. I'm going to choose this preset, the usual preset, duration 10 seconds, and click on OK. Now, right click, import file. I go to exercise 49. I select all the images and click on import. I'm gonna start by dragging and dropping the background like this. Then bring the tree. I put it in the middle like this. Next, I'm gonna bring the giraffe. I'll place it right here. Next, I'm gonna bring the horse, drag and drop. Place it right here. Next, I'm gonna bring the owl. Place it right here. The crocodile next to it, I put it right here. I'm gonna put the owl a little bit to the left here. I'll move it like this. And finally, I'm gonna bring the falcon, drag and drop. I put it right here in the sky. Now the animals are in the right position and I'm gonna start animating using the puppet pin tool. This tool right here, puppet pin tool. And I'm gonna start by animating the tree. I select the tree right here, select it, and I'm gonna select this tool, the puppet position pin tool, like this, and I'm gonna create some pins. One pin here, one pin here, and one pin here. Now we have 3 pins on the tree. If I click on one pin and move it, you can see what's happening. I can move this here. I can click on this pin, move it here. I can click on this pin, move it here. Control Z to go back. I can use these pins to distort and warp any image I have, any shape, just like this. Control Z to go back. If I toggle this down, we see effects, puppet, and inside I go down here, deform, mesh 1, deform. We see puppet pin 1, puppet pin 2, and puppet pin 3. I can select them from here and I'm gonna open puppet pin 1 like this. We see here we already have one keyframe. It's ready to animate. The stopwatch is activated. I'm gonna move from 0 seconds to 1 second like this, and I'm gonna move this pin to the right like this. I'm gonna move to 2 seconds. I'm gonna move this pin to the left like this. 3 seconds. I'm gonna move this pin up, make it go up like this, and at 4 seconds move it to the right like this. Now if we play, we get this animation. I can continue animating like this by moving the pin each time. Or what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna select all these keyframes, Control C to copy, make sure the playhead is right here at 5 seconds, and Control V, and I paste and repeat the same animation. Now I'm gonna play the entire animation. And it repeats one more time like this, and it stops right here. I'm gonna leave it like this, or I can make it go back to the middle like this at 10 seconds, the last frame. Now we are done with the tree animation. I'm gonna move to the giraffe. I'm gonna toggle this up. I go to giraffe, same tool, puppet position pin tool. I'm gonna create one here on the head, one here, one here, one here, one here. I'm gonna create other pins on the other legs. Now I can move any leg, but I'm not gonna do that. I'm only gonna move this one, and I'm gonna move the head. I'm gonna take it up, down, and up again. If I try to move it like this, I take it down. We notice the neck is bending way too much. It's warping way too much. This is not what we want, especially when I take it down like this. Control Z to go back. I'm gonna fix this problem by using this tool, Puppet Starch Pin tool. I'm gonna use it. You see the plus sign. I'm gonna click here, place 1 point here, click here, and click here. Now we have 3 red dots. If I try to move the pin now, if I try to move the head, we see the neck is not bending as much. It's not warping as much. And this is exactly what we want. Control Z to go back. So this tool, Puppet Starch Pin tool, allowed me to make this area more rigid and more solid. And as a result, we have less warp and less distortion. I'm gonna do the same thing here. I'm gonna click one time here, and I'm gonna zoom on this leg. I'm gonna create 3 points here. I don't want this bottom part to bend at all. Like this, I make it solid. And now I can start animating. Here, Puppet, Mesh 1, Deform. I can see all the pins right here. And we have keyframes already created at 0 seconds. So now I'm gonna start animating. I'm gonna go to half a second right here. I'm gonna move this pin a little bit up here, and this pin like this, just a little bit, not much. I'm gonna move to 1 second like this, and you can see the keyframe created here. I'm gonna press U so I can see all the keyframes I have. I have 2 keyframes here, Puppet Pin 4 and Puppet Pin 5, the 2 I moved. I'm gonna select these 2 keyframes here, Control C to copy, and I'm gonna paste them right here, Control V. And now we return to the initial position. Let's see the movement goes up and then down for 1 second only. Now I'm gonna animate the head. I'm gonna go to 2 seconds. I'm gonna move the head from here to here. I take it up like this. I'm gonna go to 6 seconds. At 6 seconds, I'm gonna move the head right here. Now let's see the movement. It goes down. Now I want to take it up. Puppet Pin 1. We created 1 keyframe here. I'm gonna go to 9 seconds. And I want the giraffe to go up. Again, I'm gonna select this keyframe, Control C to copy, and Control V. Now it goes down. and then up again in 3 seconds. I'm gonna play the entire animation. Let's see how the giraffe moves. Down and up again. I think this looks okay. I'm gonna move to the next animal. I'm gonna toggle this up. And now I'm gonna animate the horse. I select the horse. Click and maintain. This time I'm gonna use a new tool, which is this tool, Puppet Bent Pin Tool. Using this tool, I'm gonna create one pin here. And what this type of pin allows me to do, it allows me to rotate like this. I put the cursor right here and you can see the rotation in the cursor. I can rotate like this, Control Z to go back. I'm gonna create one pin here, one pin here, and one pin here. And now when I try to rotate, I see only the head is moving. The legs are moving a little bit, but that's okay. I can go too far like this. Control Z to go back. Now I'm gonna animate. I'm gonna take it to 1 second like this. I'm gonna zoom in and I'm gonna rotate just a little bit like this. Now we have this animation, this animation. I'm gonna look for the keyframe. It's this one right here, Puppet Pin 1. We have one rotation keyframe here. I'm gonna press Alt and I'm gonna click on the stopwatch. I'm gonna add an expression. I'm gonna write loop out, and inside the parentheses I'm gonna write quotation mark. I'm gonna choose ping pong like this. Now if I play, it goes back and forth. The same animation repeats infinitely. That's exactly what we want. The head moving forever like this. This is what we want. I'm gonna animate the next animal now, the owl. I select the owl. This time I'm gonna use a new tool, which is this tool, Puppet Advanced Pin Tool. I'm gonna go back to 0 seconds. I'm gonna create one pin here, one pin here, and one pin here. And what this type of pin allows me to do, it allows me to rotate just like the previous one. And it allows me to scale up like this, as you see. Control Z to go back. Control Z to go back. I'm gonna move to 1 second. I'm gonna make the head rotate a little bit like this, and I'm gonna make it grow a little bit like this. Just a little bit, not much, up to 120. And we get this animation like this. So when you put the cursor right here, you see the rotation logo. You can rotate, and when you put the cursor right here, you can see the scale logo and you can scale. I'm gonna go down, look for Puppet Pin 1. We have the keyframe right here created. 2 keyframes, the scale and the rotation, both. Gonna do the same thing I did with the horse. Press Alt, click on the stopwatch of scale. I'm gonna write loop out. I double click to select it. Quotation marks, I'm gonna choose ping pong like this. I'm gonna select this expression, Control C to copy. I'll go to the rotation. stopwatch, I press Alt, I click. Now I'm gonna put the same expression here, Control V, loop out ping pong. And now if I play, we see the same animation repeating infinitely. This is exactly what we want. Rotation and scale. I'm gonna move to the next animal now, the crocodile. I'm gonna toggle this up, gonna select the crocodile. I need to take the playhead to 0 seconds, it's very important. I'm gonna click and maintain. I'm gonna select puppet position pin tool, the first one. I'm gonna create one pin here, one pin here, one pin here, and one pin here. And I'm gonna animate the tail. I'm gonna take it to 2 seconds. I'm gonna take the tail from here to here. And after 2 seconds, at 4 seconds, I'm gonna copy and paste the same keyframe. I'm gonna press U to see the keyframes. I'm gonna select this keyframe, Control C, and I'm gonna paste it right here, Control V. Now I'm gonna select these two keyframes, Control C to copy. I go to 6 seconds, Control V, just to repeat the same animation. Now we have this animation goes down, up, down, and up again. This is exactly what we want. But one thing I want the tail to go behind the back and not in front of the back. I put the playhead at 0 seconds, and now I'm gonna choose another tool, the puppet overlap pin tool. This one I select it, and using this tool I'm gonna make a few clicks on the back like this, like this. We see the back becoming white. This is exactly what we need to do. And now if I play the animation, I'm gonna deselect. If I play the animation, now we see the tail going behind the back. This is exactly what we want. So this tool right here, the puppet overlap pin tool, allows us to select one area like this back and make it appear always in the foreground, and everything else appears behind it. This is a very useful tool that we use a lot when we animate characters like this. Now we are done with the crocodile. The last one we need to animate is the falcon. I'm gonna toggle everything up, press L. I'm gonna select the falcon. I'm gonna go back to 0 seconds. I'm gonna select the puppet position pin tool. I'm gonna create one pin here, 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 and one pin here. And now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna animate the wings, but this time using a new method, which is the live record method. Make sure the playhead is at 0 seconds. I'm gonna press Control. You see there's a stopwatch in the cursor. When I put it on the pin like this, you see the clock. I'm gonna click and move the wing like this, slowly, like this, and I let go. And just like that, you see the keyframes I created. I can go down, you can see them right here, the keyframes I created. And if I play, I see that After Effects recorded the movements I did. It's a little bit slow. I think I'm gonna redo it. Control Z to go back. I put it at 0 seconds. I'm gonna press Control. I see the stopwatch. I'm gonna click and move the wings a little bit faster. Like this. I let go. And now let's play. Now the wings look better. I'm gonna do the other wing now. I'll go back to 0 seconds. I'm gonna press Control. I put the cursor right here. I see the clock. And I'm gonna start moving. I try to match the other wing. Like this. Let's see. It doesn't perfectly match the other wing, but that's okay. I think I'm gonna redo it. Control Z to go back. I'm gonna redo this one. Put the playhead at 0 seconds. Press Control. And I'm gonna start moving like this. I try to match the other. I let go. Let's play now. It's not perfect, but looks okay to me. I'm gonna play the entire animation now. Now the exercise is finished. You go do the same and don't forget to save.